just shut him down entirely. That's going to be his job up in the top lane. And here we go, guys. Game number 2 for SKT versus Hanwha Life. Alrighty, here we go into the second game. And if it looks anything like game 1, might be the last game of the night as well.
Hanwha Life's first goal should be stay in the competition post 15, because it was even before turret plates went down, and then the 13 of 15 available turret plates being picked up by the side of SKT. Kind of knew that one was going to be done nice and early. Hanwha Life, they've got some places to fight around, and they've got a Jarvan, and let's see how bonO looks on a jungler away from his usual wheelhouse. As Thal, you know what? He's going to get a couple of transfusions in, but obviously not the most damage.
Yeah, the Doran shield coming through.
We should talk about it, because if you remember, our resident Vladimir expert, Nuguri, doesn't like Doran's shield Vlad anymore. He is almost always onto the Doran's Ring start. Doran's Ring 2 potions that people look at and laugh about. The same people that complain about Cassiopeia not having boots. You know who you are. But the reason why it's relevant is, like, why not Doran's shield? Because if you think about it, you're like, all right, well, Jace is ranged, hits Vladimir. Vladimir can't really fight back in the health trades with low levels in transfusion, and you get that cool passive that gives you all the health back. Think of the synergy. But what you forget is that long-standing nerf that people don't remember is that when you're high health, actually the active gives you very little healing. It does scale with how much missing health you have. Right now, seeing bonO come top lane, it's a level 1 Thal, so he's not going to do much.
Trying to get the flash here, and they will.
I wonder if he needed to flash. I mean, you understand why he flashed, but level 1 Vlad realistically does maybe 200 damage with Q auto and can't really do anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, you think you get knocked up, you'll take a large chunk of damage from the Jarvan, of course, but then maybe you just knock him away.
Especially
like,
level 2 Vlad, you're like, all right, the slow, or all right, a bit more AoE damage.
Yeah.
Level 1 Vlad does hilariously no damage. Still, that was the decision. Safety first from Kahn. I think that's probably fine overall. But because at high health values, you get so little value out of the Doran shield, you know what happens, Valdez? The Jace, a champion who can manic your waves and freeze them, goes for a slow push, and you get turret dive because you're low health and he's not actually proccing the Doran shield. So you have 2 potions to actually get the healing while the wave is being frozen on you. Is the reason the Doran shield has gone out. It's that double potion that makes people prefer.
Clid running while also damaging the Rift Scuttler. Actually gonna be saved there, bonO, from a bunch of damage. Let's see who wins the smite fight, as bonO is going to stay on in here. Actually gets the smite as well. Thal does pretty much nothing on the backside, and Clid is looking for that kill. At least is going to get the pull. Backs away, but bonO got the Rift Scuttler, so win for him.
Faker going CS for CS to win in the mid lane as well. Pretty low on health. bonO's here.
Ooh, Faker did take a lot of damage, but it's a Kali. bonO realistically is just looking to take the crab down on the bottom side.
And we've seen some pretty good Akali play today. Roscoe had a great Akali game earlier where, yes, he fell down a couple of times, but he tanked the most aggro possible for a top lane Akali without just chain feeding. bonO, he's feeling assertive. He got double scuttle, which obviously feels great. As the Jarvan, who much prefers the single target camps. On side, Tom Kench-Varys, usually known for overextending, but I guess with the top side party, Effort and Teddy have decided to be safety first on the bottom side.
Taking a bunch of damage from the Flux. Not a very fun time overall, but the Biscuiteer taken by the Varus. He's got a shield of his own. Lots of shields going around here. And we saw 5 stopwatches the last game by KT. This time we get 4 stopwatches out of Hanwha Life.
It's not quite 94 minutes, please, Riot, help us, but we get back to 8 to 10 stopwatches, we gotta do something about this free stopwatches. Talked about it in our first series, but I'm a really big fan of 600 gold for an effect that either wins you a team fight or actually keeps you alive or sometimes does nothing and you waste it. It's a very high skill expression in using the 600 gold stopwatch. The freebie one is the one where either it's coming online too early or the other rune sucks so much that why not get a stopwatch? When the utility tree is taken by 5 out of 5 people or close to, tells you that there needs to be more power in the other trees.
Yeah, I mean, you can only nerf it so many times, right? What is it going to be, like a 20-minute stopwatch or something like that?
I mean,
I'll probably check for 9:14.
It's 12 and a half minutes free boots, right? Like,
yeah.
Things have gotten later and later. Carly doing her thing. She doesn't need no stopwatch to be able to get away from aggro. Speaking of aggro, Clid saw the mid lane Jarvan and reads the pace of the Jarvan very well.
Yeah. It's kind of like a style move there, you know? It's like, hey, by the way, I've got a read on you, and if you hit it, then maybe they think there's a ward there.
Speaking of style, Execution is calling with his first 800 gold. Means lots of priority. The top side, Clid misses the Q.
And the E. He hit the auto there, though, onto Agatha. Agatha, of course, the blue side Gromp.
If he missed the auto, I would have been very concerned. This isn't TFT against the autos, you know?
Yeah, not quite. You think we should add dodge chance back into the game?
No.
Cries in Jax.
I was a big fan of the Nimbleness rune, in case you weren't playing all those years ago. And I think that's probably a lot of fans when we talk about 2019. But Nimbleness was a rune in the mastery tree. I guess a mastery rather than a rune.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that's a lot of damage, Thal. That meant that if you dodged, you actually got a 10% movement speed buff.
Yeah.
So Jax loved that rune. Lava looking for a lane gank with bonO, but Faker not obliging.
I mean, bonO's been here like 4 times. It's just...
We've seen a lot of let's keep
old.
ganking Akali in the games today, and I hope people stop that one. It doesn't work.
I mean, it really does not, especially in mid lane. Akali, very safe. The only time you're really going to have it happen is if her Shroud is down. And her ult, probably.
Using the priority they have to try to steal away blue. They don't get it.
Oh, boy. Clid just says no. In the face of 4 Hanwha Life members, he stood up and used his smite button. Whereas bonO did not have a smite, I don't think, as it's still on cooldown right now.
Worth noting that it's a relatively low-value blue buff for SKT. Faker does like it because Akali goes through a lot of energy, but in the scope of champions, it's definitely not quite Yasuo, but it's there. Close to. Comes to blue buff validity, and Clid is going to add insult upon injury. He's looking for the double blue buff.
They seem pretty good at rushing down these big camps.
Does he have smite? He does.
And you can see the flag comes down as bonO kind of knew something was up, but not much he could do. Just has the blue buff stolen under his nose.
And whether you want to call it Clid's performance or how SKT have kind of played around their jungler, that is my big takeaway from today, is that in the first game, made some really good calls with late invades, 3-buff and Olaf. Olaf never does anything. In this game, everything Clid has done follows logic. There's a plan. They're trying to attack different parts of the map and reacting to them well. And it seemed like a disconnect between Clid and SKT before Rift Rivals, so it's a good look with him back in form and making some good moves.
First Drake of the game being taken down here by bonO.
Faker has an illegal amount of CS in this matchup with how many ganks he's tanked.
It's just like every gank, he just kind of walks away underneath the Shroud.
How many CS has Clid even missed? That's 100 already.
It's hard to pull that off at 920, right? It's
you don't have camps to inflate your score like you can with mid laners later.
What?
Blind check.
Yeah. Ends up making it happen. Yeah.
Someone knows perfect CS numbers, I always forget. Faker walking up, being a jerk. Getting this much control and presence in mid lane. This definitely feels like nameplates on for SKT, and Faker's been up and down, I would say, in 2019. Definitely had some games where we were reminded of victories past. Gonna watch the replay of the blue buff steal here. Is there anything significant about this that we missed? I guess they wanted a pass off. bonO didn't want to smite it.
운수 좋은 날이네. 그러니까요.
Today's a lucky day.
Okay. It was all about the reaction cam, it turns out.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like he just landed a Q, right? So that's kind of nice. As landing the EQ here is bonO. Looking to get on top of Kahn, but Thal just cannot follow up, and bonO ends up having to walk away.
Kahn was so comfortable to not flash there. It looked like he was trying to make sure his model was next to the wall, because you can be body blocked and then fat flash really easily in a scenario like that. But actually, unlike the level 1 where it felt like he perhaps could have not used his flash, quite impressive for him to know his limits there. Really well done.
How about this rotation? We got Faker down to the bottom lane. Teddy going mid. Effort also hanging down here. And of course, this is because the Rift Herald is being taken and Faker has teleport, whereas Teddy does not.
Oh, we fighting, boys.
We're getting in there, but Clid in a bit of trouble, but Effort able to get on top of him and get the Devour down. Challenging Smite comes in, but bonO is not going to be able to land that damage. Clid flashes away. This is very heavily SKT favored. First blood going to come in. Key is going to survive thanks to the shield. Kahn looking for the accelerated shock blast. This is going to flash forward here as the stopwatch is actually going to block him from the kill. Ends up being only the 1, but they also got the Rift Herald. As that shock blast misses, SKT off to another good start.
They make the proactive map movement. They're there first, and they also trade up in the overall fight. Rift Herald going to be jammed down at 12 minutes. Seems like Faker, the rich get richer.
I'm just being reminded of how hard it was to cast the 8.1 meta where everybody had a stopwatch. It's like, oh, the guy's going to die, and then he stopwatches. And that happened like 3 or 4 times in that one fight.
We remember it as the debated meta, patch 8.1, also the Resident Sleeper meta, as we go in on what was always going to be a really hard commit when Hanwha Life went there. The effort comes in nice and early. That's alone. He wasn't even bringing in a friend. Clid gets up. bonO threads his spells pretty poorly, all things considered, and Clid is able to flash away. And then from there, Faker just wishes he had his ultimate over one more time, because there was an easy double kill. If Akali's perfect execution was up, they almost hit a max range EQ to get even more.
Oh, so close, but just denied and debated over and over and over again. Kahn close to landing that second one, but now bonO's in the jungle. Actually, who's stuck in here with who? As Effort's even super deep on the front side of this one.
Still has his flash up, so doesn't have to respect an Emperor's Divide. Wasn't available. Only now came off cooldown. Lane assignments here, pretty happy from the side of SKT. Kali can shadow and work out where she wants to go. They want to keep invading. SKT are relentless. No free lunches for Hanwha Life Esports.
Maybe they learned something from the LPL coming in here and just non-stop aggression, really trying to get in their face. As Key ends up having to take the red buff. That's really not who you wanted on, but at least they get it for their team.
Couldn't tell from the hue. It kind of looked like double buffs, but we know the red definitely came in. Clid continues to play around. Very easy for Teddy to walk up and make things happen. You're very happy if Kalista comes mid lane to match you this early in the game, because definitely Hurricane is far away, and Kalista won't have as much lane control in a short lane, as Faker continues to, we'll call it test his limits.
Hey, I think he wanted to push Thal away and maybe take down the control ward, but Thal was just too confident in his face, so Faker not going to risk it there.
No Protobelt. Old Zonias, I guess you would call it, being built by the Vladimir.
Old Zonias.
It used to be needlessly large rod plus a Seeker's
arm
guard,
okay.
But
yeah.
Now it's going to be a...
I thought you meant like some old Zonia's build or something.
It's going to be old Zonia's build path, but it's probably going to be some combination of... Could be Death Cap, but I guess more recently it's been the Spellbinder, and then eventually Zonia's will come out. You just never see needlessly large rod and Seeker's arm guard next to each other anymore.
I miss that old build. Either way, SKT just going to come on in here and say this is now our map. Faker just pushing him away. Oh, the perfect dodge with the Shuriken. Faker really just trying to style on him, and that he will. The one-on-one is, he makes it look so easy. as not sure where bonO was going, trying to go for the steal, I suppose, but he gets taken out as well.
Right, production, we need to see the Faker face cam there, because there's a smirk, I think, somewhere in that play. The moment you know you just completely outplayed your opponent. Lava, old trainee of SK Telecom T1, was their 80 carry trainee next to aiming a few years ago. He got punked. Nice play from Faker, gets the solo kill. Everything sliding into position, and it's not quite as one note as game number 1, but does feel like a one-horse race, Valdez.
Kind of just, yeah, I mean, some of the desperate attempts from the side of Hanwha Life are not feel-good moments. They're definitely just mood killers for sure, right? bonO trying to go in there and just, you know, misses the smite, dies immediately. The one-on-one where you're just getting styled on by Faker. It just, you know, 2 moments like that alone, as we're going to get the slow zoom in on the play.
So opens with the Gunblade, walks away, throws the Shuriken, and the Shuriken toss, if you remember, the second part does go over the Emperor's Divide. Very nice. Well, that was a very solid victory. We're going to see the other side of the fight.
Okay.
Clid got in, got out. Well, everything's falling into place.
Yeah, I thought it was just bonO running in because we were watching the Faker play, but it was actually teleport and position taken by Hanwha just to have it snatched away by Clid. And that's pretty good. You know, when a team is behind and they have double mountain and you get out of position, it's like, well, you don't want to really let that happen, whereas, you know, trading mountains makes it a lot easier for SKT to handle.
SKT got him exactly where they want him. Looking to close out this one 2-0 if they continue the approach they're taking. He might be forgiven for thinking that was lethality Varus. Took a big chunk out of Key, but he's going to pop a potion to Squishy. Is the Lux creeping forward vision so that this siege is as safe as possible, and it doubles down on Kahn being able to overextend. Speaking of overextension, Thal's in a little bit of strife.
You can see Hanwha Life gonna come in with the TP, and SKT actually do respect it, but Thal trying to get on in there. Teddy gonna flash away as his effort, but the big Cataclysm pick to try to save them. And SKT is not gonna try to turn it around. They quickly realized, hey, we gotta turn tail and get out of here.
And Faker was evaluating his options when it came to a TP, decided the fight was over, call to remove, they disengage. Faker continues to whack away on this inner turret. Casual 44 CS lead, if you don't mind, and 2,000 gold lead for the maestro of the mid lane.
Kahn doing his thing on the Jace, just gonna really threaten Thal here as well. Here we come with the Youmu's. Has to force that flash, and there's nothing that bonO can do.
It already forced out the pull, I assume, to decrease damage, so that's why the flash had to be invested. Next Teemo Plague not going to be as robust. They already left vision, so this is not even an overextension. Bit of a training day here. Feels like when the sports team plays around with the witches' hats, as an Aussie would say. Kahn comes in. Don't worry about it. It's an Aussie thing.
You got the wrong play-by-play with you today. For that reference.
I believe you call them traffic cones.
Oh, the orange
Yes.
cones? Yeah.
We call them witches' hats in Australia.
Witches' hats?
Like a witch, yes.
Oh. Interesting. Yeah. Witches' hats are black, not orange. But believe what you want, Papa Smithy.
It's literally an Australianism.
Say what you want, Papa Smithy. Oh, boy.
Well, I want to say that SK Telecom taking an inner turret, they've taken it in full vision. It's the right play. It's controlled. They have Clid there for the counter gank as well. Because of the opposition, we can't say it. Everyone wants to say it. You know, they want to say SK Telecom is back. I don't think you can make that inference from this. All we can say is the SKT side of their play is clean. And it kind of whets our appetite. Maybe not for the Telecom war with KT out of form, but they're playing KT for the second time, which means their schedule only gets more difficult as the season goes on. So in about 2 weeks' time, we're going to get the real information on where SKT is at.
They have to run the gauntlet, right? You have to go up against Sandbox, Griffin, Kingzone, Damwon.
Yeah, lots of good teams left, right?
That's the test, right? You know, up against Hanwha Life, who unfortunately, you know, nothing against them, but they were the forever 6th team, but I think they might soon be the relegation team.
We've got Hanwha Live, Jin Air, KT that right now feel like the teams that are out of contention for, let's say, Worlds Gauntlet and playoffs. Everyone else is around this. We don't know about Afrika Genji. They could both bottom out. They could both come back. And if Genji even qualify for the Worlds qualifiers.
Genji have to be in the Worlds qualifiers. That's their zone.
Or maybe you have to gatekeep them from the Worlds qualifiers. Otherwise, of course, they win.
That's true. I mean, I think anything could happen in Worlds qualifiers, right? It would be crazy to say Genji now, but at that time, you know, that's happened many years in a row where people are just like, wait, there's no way that, wait, no, they're in Worlds again. What happened?
It just happens every time, Valdez. And it's funny how they have kind of the Genji like Worlds buff or curse when it comes to that gauntlet. And then the other team in their stead is Afrika Freaks, who, with their young mechanical players, can beat anyone but also lose to anyone. And that's kind of the fun kind of two wildcard teams next to just the straight-up top 5 as it sits at the moment.
Yeah, Afrika kind of feel like Hanwha of days past, maybe just a bit better compared to Hanwha in the past.
Well, they won't beat you from kind of scouting foreign strategies. That the team that played timing, and they tried a lot of stuff. It's, oh, nice EQ flash.
Okay, bonO. He does literally no damage, though, as Cataclysm, he's going to be relying on sangyoon to come out in here. But, okay, finally gets it to work, as we do have the turret at least taken to the top side.
That was slick. Really nice mechanics there from bonO, but unfortunately hasn't been able to put those to good use so far this game. That was kind of a one moment of a nice little mechanical move, and SKT say, huh, we have teleport on Jace. They're going to recall. Let's start the battle.
Yeah, look at the vision. Finally, they see SKT doing it. And SKT know that, you know, Thal with this TP up and Azir can get there relatively fast. They're not going to take any chances 4v5.
You're wondering, it is a Spellbinder first done by Vladimir. We see this situationally from Nogari as well. It is pretty much, I couldn't get Ghost, I need to take Flash Teleport. I need another way to get into the fight and force it, so I don't mind it. Days like this happen, where Faker's just half a second ahead of everyone. We haven't been able to kind of hit the, what would you even call it? I want to say, kind of hit the kind of boilerplate caster points. Boilerplate caster points on Faker, you know, like, oh, tell the story about him being 3 seconds ahead, calling them the solo kill and things like that. Like, they haven't been as relevant. He hasn't been poor in 2019, but he's had down games, up games, been a bit seesaw for Faker in the last 2 years. So you do enjoy moments to sit back and admire one of the greatest to ever play this game. He walks up the top. Right now he's just gatekeeping a ward. He doesn't want this control ward to go down, but it seems like with enough members, he's going to have to back away.
Yeah. I'm not sure how you feel about it, but I feel like those moments are happening more and more often. I don't think they're happening every game or anything like that, but I feel like the tide is slowly turning back to Faker. You know, having those highlight moments where you're just like, how does he do it? What was that, right? So, I mean, it's good news for Faker fans and SKT fans, but again, consistency is what wins championships. So.
And as, you know, one of our more veteran status players, actually the oldest mid laner in the LCK. It's kind of a weird thing. He was always the young guy, right?
Yeah.
But, kind of the Dark Knight situation of being around for as long as he has, is that it's a long season, and peaking at the right time can be big. He was good in MSI, which should be mentioned. So, see how Faker's looking as potential catch.
sangyoon took more damage than Clid. I think that was just a burst from Kahn. SKT, meanwhile, having the path on into the mid lane. Hanwha just grouping up in their own jungle, so they could not stop that push. Considering the Baron, as bonO's in an awkward spot here, being chased down now by the rest of SKT, it's going to be burst down with no flash and nowhere to run.
Nice and easy, and that's the one you all in on that you didn't have to. That's where you actually make your stand, because that means Smite is down. Wait and see if Key even has a charge of Unsealed Spellbook to try to walk up as Lux. If Lux walks up and steals the Baron, something's wrong. She is super squishy. Faker on a very long flank. He won't have perfect execution for this play.
They might have an idea that Faker's back here. You see Thal check the bush, tries to land that Nemo plague, but immediately in the back line is Faker. The kick is going to go wide as, okay, we're bursting down all the squishies. Nice little sweep there from Lava, but just doesn't matter as they're 4v5 fighting. And Lava kind of messing up the combo on the backside. Nearly kills Clid, but ends up getting baited into it. Faker going to miss that shuriken. Still on the chase as SKT still have nothing to worry about.
Bringing that minion wave, wants to kill bonO again, but dastardly cooldown, not back yet to perfectly execute him 2 times in a row. TP on minion wave to keep it healthy. Base going to be broken in 2 spots, it looks like, and what is a Hanwha life to do?
Perhaps buy some life insurance, as they're not living too much in this game anymore. Should be the 2-0 to the side of SKT. Clid with the stopwatch here is going to survive on the backside. And SKT not going to take any chances. Will just back away, buy some items with that 4,000 Baron power play, or gold Baron power play, and come back and try to win.
Usually this first look after Rift Rivals is very important for the team coming back. We always say, is it going to be a hangover or are they going to come back stronger? I'm actually really disappointed with Hanwha Life's side of their games today because they've had this entire time to prep for today, and they've actually folded very early in both games. And both these games, they were out of really any sort of competition for each 15 minutes.
Kahn's doing it again here.
Not going to find a solo kill, but all Thal can do is run away. Hanwha Life looked weaker than they did pre-Rift Rivals, and they were definitely kind of rolling over. They had the Ghost Flash Vladimir game, I think, in that one. I'm very concerned about Hanwha Life's level of competition because the LCK has been Jin Air as a no-hoper, and then everyone else has at least their moments. Maybe we do have a real hard bottom 3 in summer 2019.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that I feel like the top of the line has gotten a bit stronger overall. It's not just SKT and, 1 or 2 other teams. I feel like it really is 5 teams that are quite strong.
All right, Faker. There's a lot of bad guys.
Okay, nice mechanics once again from bonO, but no real follow-up. Okay, we're flashing. Key is a little bit too close to Faker. That is 5 levels above them.
The global taunt is real. Baron buff. 4 members taking down the last inhibitor turret, and now they want to fight.
All right, the chain's coming on in. The kick really not going to do much. Kahn just soloing down Thal as everybody's going to die. Nice little sweep. They finally got Faker. I hope they're satisfied with that because that's all they're going to get. SKT going to come on in through here. 27 minutes and a half. And they will take this game away from Hanwha Life Esports.
Can they get their old teammate in Thal? No kick up, they're probably going to let him live, but that's all. Kahn flashes in, easy end to the game, and SK Telecom T1 wipe the floor with Hanwha Life Esports. Confident victory. A very nice way for their fans to